It didn't even seem like Donald Trump knew where he was yesterday. He needed Melania Trump to whisper in his ear what questions were being asked by the press during this bizarre dinner he held with tech executives at the White House. I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But Donald Trump then posted photographs of himself and Vladimir Putin over and over again on his social media platform, as though he was like posting photos of like a girlfriend and they're in like the honeymoon phase of a relationship. I just want you to think how disrespectful this is to Ukraine and our allies, what went down yesterday, or perhaps former allies. So yesterday there was supposed to be a coalition of the willing meeting in Paris. Trump didn't show up. Trump didn't even show up virtually. He sent Steve Witkoff. I'll do a whole other video of this in about 90 minutes. But Witkoff ambushed everybody at the meeting, started attacking our European allies, made all these accusations against them, then stormed out of the room. And then the European leaders with Zelensky had to call Donald Trump. The whole thing was absolutely horrific. Our former allies in Europe and Zelensky held their dignity, but it was just a total mayhem. And then Donald Trump, like the little petulant child that he is, no offense to petulant children, starts posting like love photos of himself and Vladimir Putin. But folks, I think Donald Trump is also feeling the heat, and he knows how much more popular California Governor Gavin Newsom is than Trump, and Trump's plummeting in all polls as well. YouGov, Yahoo, they do very good polling, by the way. They ran mock scenarios of Newsom versus Vance and Newsom versus Trump. Newsom trounces both Vance and Trump if the election were to be held tomorrow. It should be noted that Donald Trump is not allowed to run for another term, although Donald Trump, of course, has dictatorial ambitions and will likely try to cling to power using the military. But we, the people, will rise up peacefully, of course, and not let that ever occur. But yeah, Newsom destroying Vance and Trump, 49-41. In the latest polling data right there. Also, CBS YouGov asked Americans, are prices going up in the past few weeks, staying the same, or going down? Because Donald Trump's out there saying that prices are all going down and inflation has been solved. The Americans responded 64% say going up, 28% say staying the same. Only 7% of Americans say prices are going down. In the next few months, price expectations, 67% say going up, 18% say not change, 15% say going down. Also, that same CBS poll said government health agencies should make vaccines more available, less available, or no change. 74% of Americans say more available, 4% say less available, 22% say no change. 90% of Democrats say more available. 74% of independents say more available. Only 61% of Republicans, but still a majority, say make more available. And it's an important point because yesterday we've covered this a lot. RFK Jr. went to Capitol Hill. He has a serious anti-vax policy. The Trump regime has basically fired most of the people working at the CDC. They're going to make it much harder for children to get vaccines and far more difficult for adults to get access to vaccines. I mean, we're talking about polio, we're talking about measles, mumps, and COVID, but we have an anti-vax regime that is trying to kill us all. I'm not going to mince my words. That's what RFK Jr. is trying to do. He's trying to literally murder and kill you and your family, in my opinion, by his policies that he's showing us right now. I think it's an undisputed fact. Trump's approval is also plummeting with his mishandling of the Epstein files. I can't believe I have to say this, but hat tip to James O'Keefe. He did a really good story yesterday. He had someone go undercover on a date with the DOJ deputy chief, a very high-ranking official, Director Pollock. And this person was on like a dating website, went on a date with the deputy DOJ chief, and the DOJ deputy chief said that the regime will redact every Republican's name from the Epstein files and will try to leave all liberal and Democratic people in the files and remove all references to Trump and everybody that's a Republican. And then this deputy DOJ official said Ghislaine Maxwell was definitely moved to a lower security prison as a benefit to keep her mouth shut. She's a convicted sex offender. She doesn't belong where we put her, but we put her there to keep her mouth shut. That's the DOJ deputy, just like one of the top people there, said that on his date where he was on, what was the dating app that he was on? Hinge. I met a woman on Hinge, a dating app, in July 2025. Her profile is no longer findable. We had 2 dates, August 14th and August 16th. She claimed to be an au pair in Georgetown. She gave no clues she was a reporter or recording our dates. Had I had a clue on the first date, I would have ended it immediately. Then he goes on to say that he was just giving his own personal opinion and not speaking on behalf of the government. Sure, Jan, you weren't speaking on behalf of the government. Sure, Jan, we believe that. So with Donald Trump's approval plummeting right now, I've showed you his tactics before as part of his cult brainwashing. He love bombs his supporters and he sends weird messages like this and he gives them fake awards. He goes, I'm upgrading you to diamond status. Dear Ben, you didn't accept my offer the first time, so I'm delivering it a second time. I won't do this again, Ben, not even for you. Accept my special offer to join the Trump Diamond Club. Then you click it and he asks you for money. Then there's a separate email within about 3 hours of the Diamond Club email that goes, Ben, bravo. I just gave Rudy Giuliani the Medal of Freedom, and now I want to honor you. You are in the top 1% of all patriots, Trump patriots. That's why I'm officially awarding you the inaugural Trump Patriot Medal. Claim your Trump Patriot Medal. So just like Giuliani, who got the Medal of Freedom, you get a Trump Patriot Medal if you just give Donald Trump some money. I mean, does it get more pathetic than that? It does, because on the same day yesterday, while Donald Trump ambushed our allies in Europe at the Coalition of the Willing meeting and had Witkoff attack all of them to destroy the meeting, which was supposed to talk about sanctions against Russia, which Donald Trump's totally capitulated on and given up on. We also learned yesterday that the Trump regime is now making sure the U.S. does not give any money to Eastern Europe to defend itself from potential Russian attacks. U.S. will cut security funds from Europe. Also, more bad news. U.S. companies announced just 1,494 new jobs in August. That's the lowest of any month since 2009. Layoffs surged 39% to 85,979. Housing data shows that sellers now exceed buyers by over 500,000, marking the largest imbalance ever recorded in the market in history. Also, everybody, guess what? The Trump regime will no longer enforce the Biden plan to make airlines compensate passengers for flight disruptions. Great work, MAGA. Fantastic work that you did. Now, you idiots have prevented the work of getting rid of scamming companies. And so when you get screwed from your flight, Biden would have made them compensate you. Now Trump's saying they don't have to compensate you. And Trump's done that across the board with all companies while Trump grifts and make billions of dollars while we, the people, suffer. While you suffer, Trump's just increased his net worth by another $5 billion with a new crypto token, because that's what he's using the White House for. Crypto tokens. You suffer. He takes away your health care. He takes away your social security offices. He makes it more difficult for you to get social security. He takes away your benefits. He screws you over massively, makes things less affordable. But him and his family, they're living the life. Crypto money everywhere. But companies are suffering, though. I mean, look at John Deere. John Deere predicting major losses as tariffs settle in. We're seeing tariffs crushing companies across the United States right now. The deficit is skyrocketing. Where are the fiscal hawks? Quack, 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 quack. Where are the fiscal hawks at, huh? Aren't you hawks? It's always the stupidest name to call these people fiscal hawks. They're the least fiscally responsible people. Heck, during the first Trump regime, they added $8 trillion of debt. I think they're going to add 3 to 5 times that this time at least, which is going to cause our deficit to soar. Because look at the stupid crap that they're doing for Trump's performative fascist cosplay of putting the troops into our cities, invading cities. Governor Newsom, who's far more popular than Donald Trump, as we just saw, lays it all out. He goes, I'm not exaggerating when I say millions of dollars are going down the drain to fund Trump's National Guard stunt in LA alone. Do the math. $71 million for food and necessities, $37 million in payroll, over $4 million in logistics supplies, $3.5 million in travel. The list goes on. It's time to wake up, America. I absolutely agree. And just think about what else they're funding. $200 billion for ICE, billions of dollars for 1,000 different concentration camps across the country to torture migrants and citizens alike at concentration camps in the United States. Oh, heck, they blew up the Venezuelan fishing boat off the coast of Venezuela. First, they said it was heading to Trinidad. Then they said it was heading to the United States. It was a 16-foot fishing vessel. They claim there's 11 people on it. It looked like it was like 3 people on it. Doesn't look like any drug boat based on my knowledge of the way these drug boats would normally exist. And then you just murder the people. And by the way, it didn't have enough fuel based on the size of that boat to get to the United States. So the story's not adding up at all. By the way, even if it was drug dealers, I want to make sure that drug dealers face the full force and effect of the law. But we can't violate international law, just start killing people and then have the president post death execution videos online. Sorry, I'm not okay with that. Were there other steps to stop us? By the way, it seems like it was just a fishing boat. We don't have accurate data. We don't have the right information. They haven't provided it. This is serious stuff right here. And then, you have Pete Hegseth being asked, what's your authority to go and just start killing people? And he's like, they're terrorists. We just kill everybody. I mean, these are the most unqualified, most dangerous people, from Hegseth to RFK to Kristi Noem to all of these idiots. This is Hegseth yesterday. Here, play this clip.
Mr. Secretary, what legal authority did the Pentagon invoke to strike that boat full of drug smugglers?
We have the absolute and complete authority to conduct that. First of all, just the defense of the American people alone. 100,000 Americans were killed each year under the previous administration because of an open border and open drug traffic flow.
Was there
that is an assault on the American people. I said we smoked a drug boat, and there's 11 narco terrorists at the bottom of the ocean. And when other people try to do that, they're going to meet the same fate.
And by the way, everybody, news from the Justice Department. The Justice Department is now considering gun control on transgender Americans. So the Trump Justice Department is considering a firearm ban for transgender Americans only. Now, make that make sense. I want common sense gun reform for all Americans. 85% of Americans want that, but you're going to specifically attack a marginalized community when 97, 98, 99%, perhaps even more of these mass shootings are not done by transgender people. What in the world are you talking about? We need common sense gun reform. And by the way, we do need robust mental health projects as well. But the Republicans defund it all. They've actively defunded the police. They've actively defunded mental health research. And all they want to do is scapegoat. It's the migrants. It's transgender. It's this and that. It's the genes. The liberals are mad at genes. Dude, what the hell are you talking about? How pathetic is this? I don't know any other words to describe it. And then finally, you had Donald Trump at that bizarre press event yesterday. He couldn't even understand the questions that were being asked. He had to have Melania whisper in his ear, his new caretaker. Play this clip.
After your phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky today, do you plan to speak with Russia's President Putin in the near future?
What?
If you will speak with President Putin in the near future.
I will be. Yeah, I will be. We're having a very good dialogue. I settled 7 wars
Anyway, that's what went down. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.